Welcome the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today. Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA.
The RNC has officially kicked off, and Donald Trump, when he emerged out into the auditorium, the crowd went wild. It was electric. And Donald Trump, actually, you can see at one point, he is completely overcome with emotion. If you haven't watched the full intro, go ahead and find it because it is truly amazing. Now, what I want to focus on, since Donald Trump isn't speaking until Thursday, is a surprising dark horse. Amber Rose, okay? Amber Rose, if you don't know, she's basically a model who dates rap stars, and she is incredibly influential. As you can see over here on Instagram, she's got 24.3 million followers, and she used to be a very staunch leftist person, but she has had a personal awakening, and she was actually asked to speak at the RNC. So I want to play you a bit of that before we get to the video. Please like and comment so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Hello. My name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician, and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse. And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So that's basically a standard red pilling story, all right, except for it happens to someone who's actually quite famous and influential in certain circles, all right? She's noticing, yeah, the media is saying one thing, but when you actually look into Donald Trump, you do your own research, you notice the actual things he said, the actual things he has done, and you start to realize, it's all a bunch of lies. And guess what? You make that simple comparison to your life a few years ago versus your life now, when everything was cheaper, when everything was safer, when everyone was better off, all right? It's a clear-cut comparison, and that is all that Amber Rose is noticing. Now, some people realize how powerful this speech actually was. So let's jump over to CNN, where Van Jones is going to weigh in on this craziness.
That was probably the most dangerous speak for the Democratic coalition. That is a young woman of color. She's describing the experience a lot of people have, feeling that maybe if you're around too many liberals, you might get criticized too much, or you might not be able to speak your mind. And she spoke to it really well. And she's way more famous than any of us up here. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that, way more famous. And so to the extent that these guys are trying to bust up our coalition, that was a bunker buster right there.
By the way, and it's one of the things we've been talking about, but there are speakers who speak to the room, and there are speakers who speak through the television screen. She speaks through the camera to the audience at home, not, I mean, she's effective in the room, but when you're yelling into the room, that is not communicating directly through the lens.
This person is super talented, okay? Like, this person knows how to speak plainly and directly, knows how to use the camera, the cadence of it. They got something there.
Yeah, and it really is hard. In those big arenas, it's hard not to want to fill up the room. You want to scream, just make sure the grandma in the back can hear you. But you're not talking to the 30,000 people there. You're talking to the 30 million people at home. And she was the most effective. You can be heard in the hall, but you're in somebody's living room. She understood that. And I would not be surprised if she doesn't have a political future.
Yeah, you can tell that she's somebody who makes a living communicating with people on the screen, right? She understood how to connect with the camera. That's what she does. It's part of why she has 23 million Instagram followers.
So the panel recognizes how great of a speech that actually was, and Van Jones puts it perfectly. This is dangerous to the Democrat coalition, all right? Donald Trump has been making huge gains among minorities, the blacks, the Latinos, etc., okay? We all know that. We know how the numbers have been playing playing out. But this effectively speaks to that, all right? This shows it on a platter for everyone to see. And of course, it's even more important coming from someone who's actually well-known, who's actually a celebrity, not just Scott Baio, as much as I appreciate his support for Donald Trump. All right, but let's jump over to MSNBC because Joy Reid doesn't buy into this whole thing.
A member of Congress who was a Republican came out immediately and blamed the incident on DEI and said that the fact that there were women and black people in the Secret Service is the reason this happened. That is a member of Congress who went out on the TV and said to the world that DEI was the cause of an assassination attempt. This is where the Republican Party is. So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, and she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this black woman, this woman who is of whatever race that she has claimed. She said she's not black. But they brought somebody whose whole career is based in black culture. She used to be on a show on BET. That's the reason most people know who she is. She dated one of the most prominent African-American rappers in the business in the history of hip-hop. So her whole culture came from black culture, even though she says she's not a black person herself. And the fact that she is now the person they're using to try to recruit young people of color and to say that this is the person who is the endorser of Donald Trump who you should trust, when she won't even claim the culture that brought her to the table, I'm dubious that this will work. I don't know anyone who takes their political cues from Amber Rose, but just in case you do, you might want to duplicate doing your own research because she might not have done it thoroughly.
So Joy Reid is so upset that a person of color, whatever ambiguous color that might be, according to Joy Reid, is actually coming out in support of Donald Trump. And they're actually using that support to say, hey, anybody else out there, young people, influential people, whatever the case may be, you might want to look into this too. You might want to take a second glance and doing your own investigation, figure out what you like more, everything Donald Trump is doing or the stuff that Joe Biden says he's doing but actually isn't. But notice just the importance that Joy Reid places on race above everything else. That is all that matters to her. That is her worldview. Of course, that's the modern leftist for you anyway. And notice the little dig there at the end. I don't know how many people take their political cues from Amber Rose. I'd be willing to wager it's a heck of a lot more people than take them from you, Joy Reid. She is far more influential and far more famous, as Van Jones said in the last segment. So of course the jealousy and the rage is clear for anyone to see. Donald Trump is doing exceptionally well and more people are supporting him than ever before. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.